from Michigan, so Ted Nugent and Rush and these kind of bands were all big and played all the time, and I drilled into your head on the radio, and those were the days that they could play half of an album at a time. The late 70s, I was able to find some import records. The import section was about this deep at the local record store, and there was a couple Motorhead records in there. So I got some early Motorhead stuff, and I saw that the man played with a pick, and Lemmy played with a pick, and I always played with a pick. It actually came out of necessity, and so did a lot of this thing, and I literally wore, I know for sure the first 2 layers of the dermis and possibly the 3rd layer of the dermis all the way off on these 2 fingers. I couldn't play for a while like this. I had to play with a pick for probably a month, maybe even more. I was forced, if I wanted to play the bass, I had to play with a pick. So Lemmy made it okay to play with a pick. So that was a really big influence on the way that I started attacking the bass. That really is the word, the attack on the bass. So Flotsam and Jetsam was the first one that anybody would have known about. And the first record came out in 85, 86, something right around there. And then in 86, October, auditioned for Metallica and joined Metallica 15 years. In the meantime, I had a couple of projects at my studio, the Chop House, and we formed Papa Wheelie as our punk band that still goes to this day. So all those projects I was taking part in when I was still in Metallica. Flotsam and Jetsam, Metallica, Echo Brain, Voivod, Ozzy, and some other stuff too. You know, but those are the ones of any bands that people have seen by the thousands and millions and so forth. So I joined Metallica in October of '86. I had a Wormuth bass that I did my audition with for Metallica, and I had EMGs put in that. And then I had my BC Rich bass, the other from Flotsam, that was my backup one. That I did like I remember the first photo session with Metallica and all that stuff, and I had EMGs put in that as well. My main instruments that I made payments on and worked my butt off at washing dishes and stuff in the early days, those basses were upped or were upgraded with EMGs as soon as I could afford it. And then as soon as we could afford it, we got them all put in, and all the instruments that went on the roads. EMG has always been the one to compare to, I think, when it comes down to it, because when Kirk and myself and a lot of our peeps, you know, we collect guitars, and we like vintage instruments and open to some new things if people come up with certain things, you know. Always willing to try stuff and test stuff out, but we know what all these sounds that made us what we are, and everything as individuals, as our sounds, and a collective that people know so well. The EMG thing has always been the standard that all of these other, the vintage ones sound like they sound, but we still have to compare them to this. So Metallica sound, from the beginning, live and recorded, the fundamental and the foundation of the guitar sounds, recorded and live, were built with EMG.